Honest to God.
And she
Hank.
actually has Hank. Like, you gotta show the camera.
Honest to God, that's my favorite.
Nice. Yeah. I forgot about that.
The worst part is I was so against getting a dog. Pets, let me talk.
Okay.
Pets are annoying. And Brian kept saying, oh, maybe one day we'll get Marcy a dog. We'll get the kids. I'm not getting no fucking pets. They shed. They're annoying. And this little guy shows up with a dead brother on the next door neighbors. And Raquel brings him in. And I look and I was like, oh, God. He looks like a Hank. Right away. Knew his name. And Raquel's like, do I bring him in the house? I was like, nope. Because I knew I was going to get attached. She brings him in the house. We hang out with him for a little bit. Bring him back. Then I'm like, at night, do you guys want to go back and get him? I already had his name. They're like, yeah. Go back. Worst part is, it's not even the same fucking dog. So it's not even the rescue dog that we got. But then it went from, nope, no dog on the couch. No dog in the bed.
Chatene's OCD and a complete clean freak, which is...
But Hank gets away with everything.
Hank does get away with anything. If I step in the house on the hardwood floor with these things on, my ass is chewed out. But Hank can go dog shit out and into the house like he owns the place and get a treat. You know?
I have to admit, he's full of love.
He is full of love. Oh. Why don't you, that's a very exquisite piece of art you got on your hands there, babe. But why don't you show them the tattoo of, got for me?
God.
See, we're
gonna go there.
We each got one. Chatene got loose with the tat time. And, she may or may not have had a couple drinks. Decided to do her own tattoo in dedication to me. Brian, kinda. Check a fucking masterpiece right there.
Did it myself.
Can you see it?
I need to rotate a bit more.
I think a child wrote it. I was not sure.
It's the thought that...
Right?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So that was an interesting night. I love telling that story when I got to work the day after too.
I bet you did.
But I wish you would have got it like on your knuckles and like.
Oh,
like,
you're jealous of Hank.
I'm a little jealous of Hank all the time.
Oh.
That dog gets way too much love.
He deserves it.
Clearly.
You get love too.
I know. Love he will never understand.
Okay. Enough of Hank.
Why? It's a good topic.
What's your...
Well, I recently did a show last weekend. We called it Hick Hop in the Puddle. And everybody laughed at it. And then we sold it out. And there was a whole bunch of cowboys. And we had a costume party. So the venue was like half cowboys, half rappers. And I don't know. We're getting lots of shows now. It's pretty cool. And that's another reason we decided to do this. Because, you know, like we're starting to get a little bit of momos. And I thought it would be fun to do something with you, babe. So,
yeah, why don't you tell them about the time you pissed on the hotel floor when we first met?
We will get to pissing on the floor a little later. Why don't... God damn it. Why don't you tell them how you feel about the shows?
What shows?
What do you think about them?
Your shows?
Yeah, do you like going to them?
Honest opinion? Yeah, of course.
That's right.
No.
What was your favorite one that you've been to so far?
The only one that I've ever been to.
Okay, so COVID, she didn't know me. Our camera guy here, Andrew, he used to actually come on tour with me. And, yeah, she knew nothing about my life when we met. She just seen me on an island one day and came up and grabbed me by the junk and just knew it was meant to be. So she didn't see the amount of shows and stuff we were doing at the time.
And peeing on the floor.
God damn it.
Can you just stop talking into the camera and like...
I am talking into the camera. That's how you do a podcast. We need
Yeah,
you to talk
no,
more
us.
into the camera.
No, you need to be talking like us conversing.
Oh.
Not an interview.
See, Chatene's used to
Agree?
into the camera.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
See?
So Chatene's used to doing podcasts and seeing what they look like. I have no
No,
idea.
I've never done it.
She listens long, and I have no idea like the format, so I'm just used to talking in the camera. I apologize. Okay.
What's your surprise that you have?
Oh, we'll get to that later. But so she's new to the shows and stuff. And she's only been to one, and that was Snack the Ripper. And you enjoyed yourself, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I made a song and sang it in front of everybody, dedicated to her. It's not a cringy thing, okay? It's fucking romantic, Andrew. And I'll thank you to be a little more polite about it. So what do you do for fun, babe?
Really?
Yeah.
I like to lay in bed and eat snacks. I like to sit on my couch.
Snacks.
Snacks.
I've
sleep,
seen you
work
like
out. What?
she makes like really weird combinations of food.
But they're good, and you're always like, oh my god, that looks so good.
But what's your favorite? Like, give me an example of one thing that like is your all-time favorite. Because I've watched you like mix like what was it, fucking avocado with like seeds and like your special bread, and you got like
No.
Thousand
Toast.
Island dressing or whatever on it.
No, not even.
What do you put
not
on
pay
it?
attention to me? It's toast with avocado, provolone cheese, and bacon and pepper.
Ugh. I thought you didn't eat bacon or whatever.
Okay, but do you remember when I sent you that picture when we first started dating? You're like, oh, no wonder why you're time. Well, no, because of my ADHD, will hyper focus on a food, and I'll eat the same thing for a year, sometimes longer, to the point where I want to puke and I can't eat anymore. So that was my favorite.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't like bacon.
I'm trying to think of that weird. Oh, she mixes eggs in with noodles. Like, we'll crack a raw
It's
egg.
called egg drop soup.
Egg drop soup.
See?
Yes.
Like-
Especially in Japanese.
That's what I
for
was-
ramen.
Yeah, tell 'em.
People eat it?
Yes. It's called egg drop soup. And I told you that.
From over here, it looks like you're talking about a penis.
Wouldn't mind.
Greasy. Thank you, Andrew. Yeet. Got words. Yeet. Can I use that in a song? Like,
Anyways.
so I wanna know, like, what was the other thing? You made something like a month and a half ago, and it was like fucking bizarre. I couldn't believe you were eating it. Remember?
No, what was it? Like, was it dinner, breakfast, or lunch? I need that.
I think it was like lunch or something, but it was like fucked. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that was the grossest thing. It was like cheese whiz and lettuce or something.
I don't eat cheese whiz.
Oh. I don't remember. It was
But I do eat weird things. Like, I do like peanut butter and pickles.
peanut butter and pickles. I think that might have been it.
Oh, on a sandwich?
Maybe.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Your semen.
That was pretty cool. Way to throw a curveball into the mix, babe. That's cool. So, I'm really into what's happening in, like, Ukraine. Well, I'm not really into it. Like, but it's bizarre because I guess I'm hyper-focused on it a little bit. And I sit on TikTok and I do a bunch of research in my spare time with what's going on with it. And
So you're boring.
I bring it home and I tell Chatene and I say, like, oh, I learned this today. And I've explained it to her a million times. So since she's being really mean to me, I'm going to put her on the spot and see what she knows about Russia and Ukraine.
Nothing, because
Take
I don't
it away.
care. I don't care. It's so
You do
boring.
care.
No. If there's a war here and we're about to die in this vicinity, I'll care.
So you don't care about world peace.
I just don't care about a lot else that affects me.
What about China?
What about China? They're overpopulated.
Remember what's happening with them? I was telling you the other day. I was like, babe, China's doing all this crazy shit. They're about to do this. And you're like, yeah. Oh. Like, you're being super responsive, but I'm doing a test on whether or not you listen to me. So, do you remember what was happening? They were about to make a big strange move. They were actually doing strange movement.
Oh, they bombed themselves. Or
God
who
damn it,
bombed,
that
who
was
bombed themselves?
Russia.
That's the only thing that I thought was the coolest thing you ever said about another country. I was like, oh my god, that's fun. No, I don't remember. I know that Japanese has egg drop soup. Love it. China's overpopulated. They will kill. If you're pregnant, you're not allowed to have females. What is it?
That's
Only
a lot
males?
older,
Is it
but
actually? Or was that Japan?
That was China. And
Yeah.
it's not as bad now. It's like very harsh that
Yeah.
if you had a female born, is a dumpster.
Yeah.
Just straight into the dumpster.
What?
Yeah.
Actually, there's a comedian,
That's fucked.
and she was supposed to be a dumpster child, and she's a very successful comedian now.
Really?
And she's fucking hilarious.
That's why China puts them in the dumpster.
Fucking China, hey? But actually, China was debating, well, they still are debating taking over Taiwan.
I don't know what any of that means.
Well, I've explained it all to you. We've had full-on
So
conversations.
this is a geographical podcast now?
Well, no, I'm just wondering if I should start cutting those
Political?
conversations out. And I'm like, I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, I wonder if I like brought some of that stuff up, how much she actually has absorbed
Retained?
and
None.
cared, and or
None.
if I've just wasted literally like 50 hours explaining to her every step of what's happening with Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan. Like I come home and I'm just like, babe, I'm so excited about it, and you hang there with me. So you probably don't even know what I do for work, because I do the
Nope.
same thing with work.
I tell you that all the time. I listen. The only thing that I ever remembered was the fact that someone bombed their own fucking country. I was like, oh my god, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That'd be like me trying to bomb the kids. And I bomb myself. Or me trying to prank you and I prank my fucking self. Yeah, no.
You do prank yourself every time you
Shut
try to
up.
prank me.
Yeah, well.
We're still trying to get to the bottom of all that, but let's hear more. So, I don't know. If you guys are interested, we should maybe give them a little bit of introduction on how we met. I don't know.
Wow.
I think that's kind of a cute story.
It is cute.
You guys
Tinder.
could get to know us better.
Tinder!
Tinder, out of all
And we
fucking things.
both were very reluctant to go on Tinder. My own girlfriend set it up for fun. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. And who? Jordy set you up, your brother?
Yeah, well, I was getting really frustrated because all I was doing was like working and stuff, and I'd been single for I think like 6 or 7 months or something like that. So my brother's like, "Why don't you go on Tinder?" And my brother's kind of like, I don't know, he's a hyper dude. Like he rides snowmobiles and doesn't really hold a girlfriend for too long, that type of thing.
Brandon
Anyways,
or George?
Jord.
Oh.
Well, he had one, but anyway. So he's like, go on Tinder. And I'm like, what the fuck is Tinder? Like, I don't understand. He's like, oh, it's like a game. You look at girls and you just swipe if you think they're hot. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever. So I was on Tinder for literally half a day. And within the first 5 minutes of going on fucking Tinder, I see this picture of Chatene. And I'm like, that's not a real person because we're in a small town, Williams Lake, BC. Like, the population is... Everybody knows everybody, and I've been here my whole life, long story short. So I'm like, this isn't a real person. So I swiped on it, or what do you do, a heart or star or some fucking
No,
bullshit?
you added me to Facebook.
Yeah, but you have to like, didn't I swipe on it?
I don't know. I was off of it at that point.
Okay. So anyway, I added it on Facebook, and I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm sitting at Denny's with my little brother, and I'm like, this is an actual person, like with titties and everything. Like, yeah, all the important things. And I'm like, I gotta message this because I feel like, you know how Facebook has like those, they have like the drone accounts or not drone, like the fake accounts, and it's like always like the
Oh,
super
that
hot
robots?
chick. Yeah, and then they send you like a link or whatever, or hey
Yeah.
sexy, whatever. So I thought it was something like along those lines. So I sent her a message and it said yo, and she sent me one back and it said yo, and that was love. That's what I do. But
I knew it was love. At first, I was like, oh, here goes another one. I knew it was love when we talked about music. And you asked what kind of music I listened to. And I was like, mostly reggae, underground, hip hop, blah, blah. Dude, please tell me it's not country.
yeah, fuck country music.
And then you said, that's what I love. That's love.
Yeah. Yeah, so we ended up kind of going back and forth on Facebook a little bit, back and forth through text message, and then one day I asked her, or I was taking my daughter to the park or something, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're like, I was just about to take my daughters to the park too.
Made that up.
I know. And then I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my buddy Egon, and
Dragged my older kids to the park. They're like, why are we going to the park?
I
Because
remember
you like the park.
I remember Chanel had her scooter on and her like helmet was kind of sideways.